Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaivanam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayadine Nashta Praisha Padesha Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhakti. So, Hare Krishna, welcome to this special class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text 1. And we'll have a short overview of this important verse. The Acharyas explained that actually the first 3 verses of the Bhagavatam are kind of accepted as a Mangala Charana, like an invocation or introduction to the entire text of the Srimad Bhagavatam, which consists of 18,000 shlokas. And Srila Jiva Goswami explains that a Mangala Charana consists of the following aspects. Usually, a Mangala Charana has a Vastu Nirdesha, which means it describes the topic of a book. Then there is Namaskar, which means offering obeisances to the spiritual master, the previous acharyas. Then there is Ashirvad, is the blessings that the readers get. And then Udeshya, or the Falashruti, which is the result of hearing the message given in that book, right? So, and the first shloka that we will have a look today basically describes this Vastu Nidesha, what is the main topic of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And the text 1, the first we discussed, describes this topic, which of course is the Satyam Param, it's Sri Krishna, the absolute truth, which is the main topic of the Bhagavatam. So it's a beautiful shloka that has a very deep meaning, and today we'll just try to get some glimpse, or some little understanding of that shloka. Yeah? So I'll just recite the Sanskrit, and then we'll go to the translation. And I'll just recite it, we don't have to repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadyasya yato nayat itaratascha vidya swarat Tinne brahma hridayata adhikavaye muyanti yatsudaya Tejo varim hridamyata vinimayo yatra trisargo mrusha Dhamma svena sadavirasta kuhakam satyam param dhimahi. Just do it one more time. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadyasya yatorvayadi tadatasharteshvavidya jarasarat. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye Muhyanti Yatsuraya. Tejo Vari Mridamyata Vinimayo Yatra Kisargo Vrisha. Dhamna Sena Sadani Rasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadhyasya yatonvayadi tadatasharteshvavidya swarat. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye Muhyanti Yatsuraya. Tejo Varim Vidamyata Vinimayo Yatra Trisargam Vrisha. Dhamna Sena Sadani Rasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. Translation. O my Lord, Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Sri Krishna because he is the absolute truth and the primeval cause of all causes of the creation, sustenance and destruction of the manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations, and he is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion, as one is bewildered by the illusory representations of water seen in fire, or land seen in water. Only because of him do the material universes, temporarily manifest by the reactions of the three modes of nature, appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Sri Krishna, who is eternally existent in the transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representations of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth. Beautiful. So for this class, I will try to go one by one through the meaning of this shloka by analyzing the different Sanskrit words. Just go step by step to the different phrases. And I will not read the entire purport because it's a six-page purport. So basically we'll spend the first 20 minutes just going through that. So what I will do, I will, because actually Prabhupada's purport is quite systematic, very systematically, that Prabhupada in each paragraph he actually addresses step by step the Sanskrit words. So I will just explain the meaning and then we will supported by Prabhupada's purport, like parts of it, passages we will read from Prabhupada's purport. In this way we get Prabhupada's commentary also. So when we look at the original text, the Sanskrit, the verb which stands out that in this description is the word dhimahi, which means we meditate upon, right? The meditation. So meditate upon who? Satyam Param, the absolute truth. And who is that absolute truth? Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. So in essence, the shloka is a meditation on the Lord, and the rest of the text gives a description on who that Lord is and what are the qualities and attributes of that absolute truth. So if you want to summarize the verse in one sentence, you can say that Vasudeva Krishna is that supreme personality of God and the absolute truth. That's kind of the essence of the text. And then the text gives more insight into what are the attributes of that personality. So therefore the shloka begins with the obeisances to that supreme Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. O my Lord Sri Krishna, O son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality of God, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. And Prabhupada says, right in the beginning of the purport, obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, directly indicate Lord Shri Krishna, who is the divine son of Vasudeva and Devaki. This fact will be more explicitly explained in the text of this work. Shri Vyasadeva asserts herein that Shri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, and all others are his direct or indirect planetary portions or portions of portions. So, and Prabhupada goes on explaining Krishna's identity. So, the word Vasudev has different meanings. Vasudev indicates the transcendental platform. In this world we have sleeping, dreaming, and waking consciousness, but then there is a consciousness beyond the gunas, and that's the Vasudev platform also. Then Vasudev also can mean the one who is all-pervading, and it also refers to the son of Vasudev. Vasudev, the long A, refers to the son of Vasudev. So that's clearly indicating Krishna as the personality, supreme personality of Godhead. So Krishna is directly mentioned in this way, and of course, Om, the word Om, indicates that the goal is beyond matter. It refers to something of a transcendental reality. Om. And Namo, of course, means respectful obeisances. And Bhagavate again refers to Bhagavan. So it also indicates how we approach the Bhagavatam in humblement, in a mood of surrender and humility. Bhagavat, of course, also refers to Bhagavan. It also has many different meanings. Ba can mean the one who preserves and protects. Ga refers to the giver of knowledge and creator, and Ba means the one who is present everywhere. And Bhagavan, of course, also means the one who holds or possesses all the six opulences, like wealth, beauty, knowledge, renunciation, glory, and strength. That's another indication of Bhagavan, Supreme Lord. Then Janmadi Yasya To refers to the primal cause of all causes. Janmadi Yasya To means the Lord is the source of everything. Everything emanates, everything comes from that Supreme Personality. Prabhupada says, Vasudev, or Lord Shri Krishna, is the cause of all causes. Everything that exists emanates from the Lord. How this is explained in later chapters of this work. And then later Prabhupada says, it is natural that a philosophical mind wants to know about the origin of the creation. At night he sees the stars in the sky and he naturally speculates about their inhabitants. Like, have you ever, I'm sure we have seen it, like, if you're in the nature and you see the sky, the stars, and then we all of a sudden realize we're so insignificant and the universe is so large, so big. And then naturally we start to question, what is, how is it this, how is creation is there, who has created it? So Prabhupada says such inquiries are natural for a man because man has a developed consciousness which is higher than that of an animal. Animals, they don't have such philosophical thoughts. The author of Srimad Bhagavatam gives a direct answer to such inquiries. He says that Lord Shri Krishna is the origin of all creations. He's not only the creator of the universe, but the destroyer as well. But it's the Lord who is the origin, and even before the universe was created, the Lord was already there. He's the source of everything, he's the origin. And Prabhupada says, in Vedic literatures it is said that the absolute truth, personality of Godhead, is the chief amongst all living personality. The Supreme Lord, or Supreme Living Being, has the greatest intelligence, and he possesses supermost inconceivable energies of all different varieties. supermost, and inconceivable energies. If a man's brain can produce a space satellite, one can very easily imagine how brains higher than man can produce similar wonderful things which are far superior. If a human being, I mean, it's quite amazing what humans have created. Robert speaks of the space satellite. But even if humans with a kind of limited capacity can create such a thing, what could a personality create? The absolute personality who has unlimited intelligence. So naturally he can create much more. The reasonable person will easily accept this argument, but there are stubborn atheists who will never agree. Srila Vyasadeva, however, at once accepts the supreme intelligence as the Parameshvara. He offers his respectful obeisances unto supreme intelligence addressed as the Para, or the Parameshvara, or the supreme personality of Godhead. So Krishna is the origin of everything, and he is a person. That's of course a very important message of the Bhagavatam. And also the atheism is refuted here, where you think that it is a big bang or something, no origin. No, here it is said that Krishna is the origin of everything, and he already existed before creation, and he was the one who created it. And also Mayavad theory is refuted. They say that everything is impersonal, but even before creation there was a person who created the whole thing. And there is other ways how Mayavad theory is defeated by this text. We'll hear more about later. But yeah, an original person is addressed, and that person is the origin of everything. Then the next phrase says, Vanyadi taratash charatesha avidya. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations. So not only that Krishna has created the whole universe, but he's also directly, indirectly conscious of everything. Because sometimes there is theories that, okay, God has created the world, but then he was kind of detached from it. He's not anymore involved in the world. But no, Krishna has created the world, and he's also fully conscious of the world right now. And Charteshu Avigyana means that he knows everything. That means Krishna knows everything directly and indirectly. And it's not surprising because he's the highest, the supreme personality of Godhead, so naturally he knows everything. And of course this basically makes a strong point, but the difference between God and an ordinary living entity. God is a person, but we are a person, but God is a supreme person. And we are kind of aware of what's going on in our body, right? I know that I feel a little hungry, and when this class is over, I certainly will accept some prashadam. But that's my awareness, and you know what's going on in your body. Maybe you already have taken prashadam and you feel a bit tired, right? But but only you know about that. But then there is Krishna, and he's a supreme personality, and he, because he dwells as a super soul in the heart of every living entity, he's aware of everything simultaneously, everyone. And if you think about it, it's quite amazing that there is one person, one personality, one being who knows directly, indirectly, he's aware of every living being. He knows what every living being feels, thinks, goes through, experience. Like there's innumerable living entities, right? There's so many living entities, and they all have feelings, they all have thoughts, they have emotions, they have experiences, and Krishna knows everything about everyone, always. That's kind of, what a powerful personality. And that's the beauty of the Vedas. And Prabhupada often would say that, yeah, people know that God is great, but the Vedas tell you how he is great. By giving detailed knowledge, by giving detailed description of the personality. That's exactly what this first text of the Bhagavatam does. It establishes Krishna as the Param Satyam Param, the supreme truth, but it also gives characteristic of that personality, that he is the origin of everything, and he knows everything, and he is conscious of everything. And that's one of his opulences, that he is omnipresent. And Prabhupada gives a nice explanation. As I said, Prabhupada's purport is beautiful because it goes step by step, goes also through this, just as I'm doing, going through these Sanskrit words, without mentioning, but just by his purport you can see that this is his way to do it. Prabhupada says, the chief engineer of a complicated construction does not personally take part in the construction, but he knows every nook and corner because everything is done under his direction. Well, the engineer, he designed the whole thing. He knows how it should be done. And others, they may do it, but he knows because he is the creator. He knows everything about the construction, both directly and indirectly. Similarly, the personality of Godhead, who is the supreme engineer of this cosmic creation, knows everything, every nook and corner, although affairs are being carried out by demigods. Beginning from Brahma down to the insignificant ant, no one is independent in material creation. The hand of the Lord is seen everywhere. So then Prabhupada gives another example. He says that the Lord knows everything directly and indirectly, and is cognizant of all minute detail, and he is fully independent. He is compared to a mine of gold, and the cosmic creation in so many different forms are compared to objects made from gold, such as gold rings, necklace, and so on. The gold ring and the gold necklace are qualitatively one with the gold in the mine, but quantitatively the gold in the mine is different. Therefore, the absolute truth is simultaneously one and different. Nothing is absolute equal with the absolute truth, but at the same time nothing is independent of the absolute. The absolute truth, Krishna, is the origin, like the original gold mine, and what you can see are many different, different forms, also made from gold, same energy, coming from the Lord, but the Lord is the origin. So he knows. And Srila Prabhupada gives another example. For example, if I cut my finger, then I have knowledge of this accident in a direct and an indirect way. What is the direct way? I feel pain, and I cut my finger, especially if it's a deep cut. And an indirect, by seeing the blood is coming out. So I have a direct feeling, which indicates that something is wrong here. There is pain, and then also I see it. So direct, indirect, this is another way Prabhupada explains. And because Krishna is the source of everything and also observes the whole creation, he's present everywhere, he can perceive everything directly and indirectly. So Krishna is the source of everything, and he's also observing as a super soul everything. And then acharyas give different meanings also, but we continue with the next one, which is also very important, which is Svarat. Svarat means he is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. Svarat means independent. And, the Lord is really the only person who is completely independent. Like we are all living entities are fully dependent on so many things. But Krishna, and that makes Krishna also the supreme personality. He's completely independent. Again, Prabhupada says, in this shloka, the particular words avidya and svarat are significant. These two words distinguish the Supreme Lord from all other living entities. No other living entity is either avidya or svarat. That means no one is fully cognizant or fully knowledgeable, no one is fully independent. That is, no one is either fully cognizant or fully independent. Even Brahma has to meditate upon the Supreme Lord in order to create. Then what to speak of a great scientist like Einstein? So, even if, and with, Lord Brahma, he has a very subtle body. His body is made of pure intelligence. Can you imagine? The whole being is intelligence. And sometimes in our case, we maybe look at our Jyotish, our chart, and we see how Mercury is placed, and then our intelligence level is higher or lower. There's other factors as well. But here is a being who has a body made out of intelligence. But he also needs to meditate on the Lord. He's dependent on the Lord. So to speak of Einstein, although he got quite a good intelligence, the Lord gave him a lot of intelligence, but even Einstein is depending on Krishna. But Krishna himself is completely independent, and he can do whatever he wants, and there are never any consequences, because whatever he does is law. Imagine that, if we do something, there's always consequences. Whatever we do, there's always consequences. Good or bad karma, some reaction will be there. But when Krishna is doing something, whatever he does, there's no consequences, because whatever he does is the absolute truth. There is no difference between his being, his activity, his words. In this way, he's fully independent. He can do whatever he wants. And sometimes people, for example, they ask, why is Krishna blue? Have you heard this question? Why is Krishna blue? Well, maybe Krishna just likes the color. He likes to be blue. Bluish, shyam. Of course, we try to explain by words, with colors. If we actually see Krishna, it will be different. But nevertheless, why is Krishna blue? Because that's what he likes. He's independent. He could also be yellow or green. And of course, sometimes he is yellow. Comes as Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he's yellow. He comes as Lord Ram, he's greenish. But his original personality, he's bluish, because that's what he likes, and he's independent. Also, he's independent. There is no other source for his energy or power. On his home, he is full of power. Like when he lifts the Govardhan hill as a 7-year-old boy for 7 days with the left hand and a small finger, just to make clear that this is not a big task for him. And he does it from his own energy. He's not that he's dependent. Of course, when he looks at the gopis and starts to shiver them, the gopas, they take their sticks and they don't worry, we help, we support. But Krishna is not depending on the sticks of the cow boys and the gopas. He's independent with his own power. So in this way he's fully independent. Then, Tene Brahma Yuda Ya Adhikamaye. It is he only who first imparted Vedic knowledge onto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. We already spoke about Lord Brahma, how he is a personality made of, full of intelligence, and of course we know that he's the first living being. We understand the Shristi Lila, how everything is manifesting from the body of Mahavishnu, comes innumerable universes out of his pores, and exhales. And then Vishnu expands himself as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, enters into these universes and lies down in the ocean. And then from his navel, lotus flower comes out, and on the top of the flower, Lord Brahma appears. So Lord Brahma appears. He's not born by a woman or by a mother. He's not created by man and woman, but he's just manifested from that lotus flower. And he's the original personality. And we know there is all darkness around him. He tries to understand his origin. And finally he hears the word tapa, so he starts to meditate. And in that meditation, the Lord reveals him everything. And therefore it says, Tene Brahma Hrida Ya Adhikamaye, Ridha, from his heart, the Lord manifests transcendental knowledge. So, although Brahma is the first living entity and he is the first guru, like we are in the Brahma Madhya Gaudiya Sampradaya, he's our Sampradaya Acharya, the original Brahma. But nevertheless, he's also dependent on the Lord. It's the Lord. Adi Kavaye, Adi means the original, Kava means the original, how is it Kavi? Like a scholar or poet. So Brahma is the Adi Kavaye, he's the original poet, the original scholar. But even he depends on the Lord for his knowledge. And then, we slowly come to an end. Muhyanti yat suraya, tejo varim vidam yata vinimoya, yatra trisarvam risha. Muhyanti yat suraya means illusioned. And who is illusioned? Sura. Even the great sages and demigods, by him even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion. That means it's very difficult to understand Krishna. It's not, he's so amazing and inconceivable that even great sages are not really able to understand. Right? On Tejavari Mridam, the Bhagavatam gives an analogy. As one is bewildered by the illusory representation of water seen in fire or land seen on water. So sometimes when on land, when it's really hot in the desert or something, it looks like you see water, but actually it's just a mirage. It's not the truth, right? It's kind of creates an illusion. And actually, this Fata Morgana. So actually, this whole material world, so this illusory power, this Maya, that creates this illusory energy, material world, and the world seems to be actual, but actually it's illusory in the sense that it is temporary. Right? And this is also illusory power. Also, this Maya comes from this Satyat Brahma, from the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada says in the purport, in the desert mirage there is no actual water, there is only the appearance of water. Real water is somewhere else. The manifested cosmic creation appears as reality, but the reality of which this is but a shadow is in the spiritual world. So absolute truth is the spiritual sky, not the material sky. In the material sky everything is relative truth. So that is to say, one truth depends on something else. So the material world depends on the absolute truth. And Yatra Trisarva Visha, it's only because of him do the material universe temporarily manifest by the reaction of the three modes of nature appear factual, or they are unreal. But then, in this way the text ends, but there is another world. Dhamna Sena Sada Nirashta Kuhakam. Dhamna, there is another world, that's the spiritual world, Satyam Paramdivani. I meditate on him, that is on the Supreme Lord, who dwells in this transcendental realm, which is forever free from the illusory presence of the material world. So that's the meditation. So basically it says, I meditate, offer my obeisance to the Supreme Lord. He's the source of everything. He knows everything. He's completely independent. He is the one who gives knowledge to Lord Brahma. He's the source of all illusion, and he dwells in an eternal kingdom that is beyond illusion. And of course, there is much more we could say, and probably also in his purports, I would suggest that you go on yourself, you read the purport. Probably also quotes Vishnu Thakur, who speaks about the Adirasa, the origin and pure sex psychology, making the point that when Janmadi Yasyat, if the Lord is the source of everything, he's the source also of sexuality. And whatever you find in this world is a reflection of the original spiritual world. So Vishnu Thakur gives a very beautiful explanation of that, and probably also speaks about it in his purport. So this way we heard the meaning of this amazing shloka, describing the absolute truth with its attributes. And I'll just read the translation once more, and then at the end. O my Lord, Shri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisance unto you. I meditate upon Lord Shri Krishna because he is the absolute truth, and the primal cause of all causes of the creation, sustenance and destruction of the manifested universe. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations, and he is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him even great sages and demigods are placed into illusion, as one is bewildered by illusory representation of water seen in fire, or land seen on water. Only because of him the material universe temporarily manifest by the reaction of the three modes of nature, appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Shri Krishna, who is eternally existent in a transcendental abode which is forever free from the illusory representations of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Do you have any comments or questions?
I go.
Yes.
This verse is amazing. It's one of the great Mahavakyas of the Bhagavad Purana. The capacity of summarizing knowledge, Vedic knowledge. This verse is so.
Yeah, it's amazing how much actually is contained in that shloka. I mean, it's a long shloka, okay, and there's a long translation, but nevertheless, like, this is such a beautiful description of the absolute.
The Mangalacharan, this was lived 5,000 years ago, but even nowadays, for the scholars, for academics, these three verses have the same effect that introduction in a book. The same attitude, the same service that the introduction make in a book.
Which
the Mangalacharan.
Yeah, which shows that Mangalacharan is like an introduction of the book, as you say, and that shows how systematic Vedic knowledge is.
Very systematic.
It's like, even as you said, even today, if a professor writes a book, he also will have an introduction. There's a certain way to do it, and Vedic scripture originally have this. It's there, very systematic.
Two points very important is because same academics, same Gyanis, scholars in India, especially the followers of Shankaracharya, the Gyanis, they say that Shruti, Samariga, Tara, Yajurveda, and Vedanta Sutra, Nyaya Shastra, this is Veda. Itihasa, Purana, the Smritis, this is not Veda. But the connection in this verse with the Shrutis is amazing, because Jiva Goswami pointed that in this verse they have the mantra guide.
Yeah, Dimahi refers.
Yeah, that is a Rig Veda mantra. And another point, the Acharyas, the tradition, considered that these three verses was spoken by Vyasadeva. Jiva Goswami was spoken the fourth verse in Ahad. So the Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary of the Vedanta Sutra. And the first aphorism in Vedanta Sutra is Atatu Brahman Vyasa. The Brahman is the theme of Vedanta Sutra. And second verse, Janma Vyasa Yataha. Janma Vyasa Yataha. And how is the first verse in Bhagavatam? Janma Vyasa Yataha. Look, it's the same verse. Proposital. Vyasadeva show to us, look, this is the natural commentary with Vedanta Sutra, because the same verse that begin the Vedanta Sutra begin the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is very proposital, the connection with Vedanta Sutra and Bhagavad Purana. If one accept a Vedanta Sutra and reject Bhagavad Purana, this is a crazy person.
Yeah. Beautiful point. Huh? Just how the we don't have a microphone, but I think we heard. At the beginning of the Vedanta Sutra is the same, has the same beginning.
Same line.
And in this way, Vyasadeva makes the point that the Bhagavatam is a natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra because it has the same beginning, also indicating the origin.
Not is an invention of Vaishnavas or Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Vyasadeva proved this.
Yes?
Krishna, thank you so much for this lecture. When you were mentioning the point, like Krishna is conscious about everything directly and indirectly, and directly is how we feel pain actually when we cut. I was very moved because this it's true that Krishna is actually feeling what we are feeling, and then it's amazing that we are actually directly in contact with Krishna, with everything empty, and that's why it makes so much sense that we should, like the Paramahamsas, really treat everyone like Krishna actually, because Krishna is feeling directly every single thing. And yeah, I just found this point so amazing, and maybe you can elaborate on that.
Thank you for sharing and bringing us again back to the awareness. Yeah, that, I mean, the whole understanding of Paramatma, how the Lord resides in the heart, is so amazing. That the whole, if you really think about it, that's why Krishna says, Suridham Sarvabhutanam, I'm the well-wishing friend of all living entities. Right? What does it mean to be a well-wisher? He's always with us. He's never leaving us alone. And he goes together with us. He goes through all the experiences we do. In this material world, we have come through so many different experiences, and the Lord is going with us through it, and He feels with us. He knows our pain. He knows our, and also He tries from within. He tries to help us. And we are so dull. It's good that we don't listen to Him. We turn our face away from Him for so long. Fortunately, because mercy of Srila Prabhupada and the Acharyas and the Vaishnavas, we again come in touch with such knowledge, and then we understand actually the Lord is there.
And also how if we understand a bit more how great He actually is, like all these millions of Brahmas who are so and this absolute amazing person, he is going through your
to your little drama. Yeah, but that's the beauty, and also the Bhagavatam. Therefore, the idea is that's one of the points that Prabhupada also makes in his purport, that we should go systematically to the Bhagavatam and not jump to the 10th canto, go to the Rasa Lila. To go systematically, and Prabhupada says when we have reached the 9th canto, we will be God conscious. God realize, Prabhupada says, everyone has studied because by the time you have reached the 9th canto, you have heard so much about the glory and the greatness of God. You should have a better understanding of who that person actually is. And that's the beauty, as we said, the beauty of Vedic scriptures, to give us such an impression of, wow, this Krishna is so amazing. And then, of course, when you see the more intimate and the more confidential aspect of Krishna, you really fall in love with him. But nevertheless, you know also his greatness. And that kind of, you first need to understand his greatness, and then you can appreciate him also. And that even more when you understand his sweetness. Yeah, but that's why Shravanam, hearing is so important. And we cannot underestimate or underemphasize the point that we have to hear again and again and again. And by hearing, we develop deep understanding. Yes?
I always have this question, but it doesn't go away. And it's really bugging me from the very beginning. And it is when I heard this wonderful, most wonderful verse rising again, and it troubles me. So, if Krishna is the creator, everything comes from him. He's the origin of everything, and he stays independent. Even if he created, he's conscious of everything that happens as it happens, not only by living it, but also by observing it. As you said, that the bleeding and this, looking at the wound. But how is it possible? I mean, that such also horrible things, amazingly horrible things, absolutely disgusting things, I mean totally upsetting things happen.
What do you mean, how is it possible?
Just giving you an example. I mean,
with
all this wonderful admiration for Krishna as the creator, how is it possible that a situation like in Gaza develops?
Yeah.
You know, we actually.
Well, that is the great.
How do you
that is the great.
compile that?
You see how
problem. This is a very famous.
Yes, it's a very and of course because God is all good, right? That's usually what you understand that God is. He's all good. Then God is all-knowing also. That's also every religion accepts, and He's all-powerful also. Right? So how is it that in a world created by God, by a good God, the evil is there? If He's all good, all-knowing, and all-powerful. So then the Brahmanic traditions, theologians, and they start to speculate.
Yeah.
Okay, he's all good. He's all good, but maybe he's not always all-knowing. You know, he's all good, and he's powerful, but sometimes he doesn't see your things. There could be one explanation of bad things happen because he's not always seeing everything. Or maybe he's all good and he knows, but he's not all powerful. Maybe he can't interfere. He's not able. But or maybe he's all powerful and all knowledge, but he actually is not so good. You know, so there is always, but it doesn't really make sense, you know, because God has the attributes of being all good, all knowledgeable and all powerful. So then, and the only way to explain this is
I'm really sharply listening.
Well, come on. I mean, the whole, the deeper understanding why this material world has been created in the first place, you know.
This question about the evil problem have a great dimension in Western countries. One first is in a theological system. If you retire, if you take out karma and reincarnation, the guilt of the evil go to back of the. This is the problem in Western Christian religion.
If you take out karma and reincarnation, then you how can you explain it? Then the evil goes back. Must be God.
The theological system. And we have a very, very nice explanation by Kardama Muni, because Kardama Muni, when he make austerities to marry with Devahuti, Vishnu came in, and Kardama Muni make this question to Vishnu. This is a very important thing. And Vishnu answered, not is my pleasure create the material world. I create the material world for your pleasure. You desire this material world.
Yeah, and we will complete it because I said we have a short class. But yeah, that's the thing that. And last Sunday we had Janonivas actually spoke about the same topic. That the world has created. I mean, the Lord has created this world because He had a desire to be independent of the Lord. And the Lord said, okay, I mean, I don't like to do that. You better stay with me. But you know, like a child, I want. Okay, I will do it. And because you have a free will. And that's out of love. Because God loves, there is a free will. And but He gives us a chance to do what we want. But there is a consequence. There must be consequence because there must be a balance. The universe is always, it's God's creation. If there is this independence, there must be a balance, and that's the law of karma. And we have created the world that we live in, and we have created all this pain and difficulties.
We want to be God, but in Vaikuntha have a place for one God.
Yeah.
And for we not stay wrote in material world. For we have impetus to come
go
out.
back also.
We have the pain.
Yes.
Because if you don't have pain, we will stay eternally here.
And that's
to enjoy of sex and
that's why the miseries and difficulties are also the mercy of God.
Yes, the mercy.
Because
by the vision of the Vedanta is mercy of God.
Because by experiencing the pain and difficulties, we understand it is not our home, and we have to seek the original home. Therefore, this is also mercy. So, thank you very much. Very philosophical discussion. I appreciate it. And we are very fortunate because we came in touch with this beautiful knowledge given to us, especially Prabhupada, in this way. Find questions, find answers to all the difficult questions in life. Hare Krishna, Kantarashva, Bhagavatam, Ki Jai, Prabhupada, Ki Jai, Krishna Premarupa.
Ki
Jai.
Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai.
Fair. Another name for this problem in academy is tell me safe.
Yeah, there is a, it's called. Alright, this was my first video.
Ooh.
Of 18,000?
For your personal YouTube channel or for the
No, I mean, this will not be for the YouTube channel. I mean, maybe some kind of thing. This is for some.
you can create a YouTube channel.
I plan to do. In April this month. And I will do it. But I will do it in German.
This is
I
amazing.
will start a German YouTube channel, yeah, in April this month.
Better than Portuguese.
I already have
My YouTube channel is in Portuguese.
I already started a channel. I have the banner and the logo and just have to start doing this.
One interesting way to understand one line of this verse, when yesterday was playing Tejo, Vari, Mridan. Tejo, fire, Vari, water, Mridan, earth. So this is the Panchamahabhuta, and by the three modes, Krishna mix all this, and then by Rajaguna, the things are created by the mix of this. By Sattva-guna, the things are keeping like this. Your body is building now in Sattva-guna because it's keeping. And after came Tamaguna that will solve these elements, and they again become to be Tejo, Vari, Mridan. And this is illusion, yes. Your body is illusion, my body is illusion, it's building illusion.
So it's
Because
a,
this Tejo, Vari, Mridan
you know,
mixing by the three gunas.
well, Krishna, probably know you're such a philosopher. It's so nice. You know, you're really kind of getting very enthusiastic whenever he speaks on philosophy, isn't it? You know? It's like, yeah, this, that. I mean, I'm kind of.
But this is very divine explanation about the reality.
Yeah.
Oh, this is amazing. The academics in Western countries start with philosophy. Only one matter they have philosophy. But nowadays, it's too much advanced to people's interest in philosophy. Outside. Tomorrow I will show a study of case of Bharata Maharaj, how both in Bhava have a verse in chapter that demonstrate that Bharata Maharaj was in Bhava, how he found out to.
Okay, nice.
So tomorrow I will show a study of case if you want to come.
Yeah, okay. Today was late again, but tomorrow.